Boom! Yes! Wow!
Back in the Netherlands.
You're back, Roald. Wow! It's good to have you back here.
Finally live in the studio again. I was missing the studio.
Yeah, because it's such a beautiful studio, you know.
I mean, the background in Greg's house is also nice. I mean, it's the iceberg. It's also a nice one, but the studio background here, I think nothing.
It's a little bit bigger, I think.
It's a little bit bigger, and it looks really good. Makes me also look a little bit better, I think.
Now you gain some color. That is the good
Trust
thing.
me, it didn't come from the Atlanta weather, but that's a different topic. I'm pretty sure they have sun right now, but every time that I'm there, I think in 1 week we had snow, we had freezing, we had rain, we had wind, and sometimes a little bit sun. But
so actually,
it felt like
you brought the Netherlands there, and we had beautiful weather over here.
Yeah,
we had all sunshine like now. We have the best weather of Europe.
You could say it's bad timing, but then again, I wasn't there for the weather. I was there for other objectives, and I think we met those.
And that's good.
And maybe a little bit less sun is also more motivating to work hard.
That could be, you know. And is the American team growing? I see
American team
massive action over there.
Yeah, we had a nice opening meeting with the top leaders from the US. The product launch is getting closer and closer. So right now, everybody's holding back, waiting for the product to actually launch into the US, which we expect to happen anytime soon right now.
Whoa.
And then we go massively into a new market. It's great. And it's not only great for American people, but it's also great for everyone else in the world that knows people in the US, or knows people that know people in the US, or knows people that know people and know people in the US.
Yeah, or know people in the US that know people elsewhere, you know, can be as well, because now the US people cannot sign up.
So we always talk about reverse explosion anywhere we go. So we understand that going into the new market that has been locked out, and then when we start creating a movement over there, of course, they will know also people back into Europe, into Asia, into Africa, and Latin America. So I believe that the whole world will be bigger because of this.
I think that too. And now we get people talking out of China.
I don't know nothing about it.
Hey.
My name is...
Yeah, tell me what's your name. Roald May.
Ik wou zeggen Haas. Maar Haas, what is the translation for that? That would be your...
Haas. No, the Haas team did very well today. You know?
That's a nice bridge.
They had the 5-4, they had the 5th place today, you know.
100%. It was a nice opening of the season in many ways, but today we make sure that we are the fastest team.
Good. So we have to beat Ferrari today.
We will beat Ferrari. We will beat any competitor all over the world. Doesn't matter which network marketing company it is, but we're ready.
Let's go for it then, because then I can ask a question. Because I get out of the network. Yeah.
Somebody's calling.
Roald,
my phone is ringing.
You know, I get a lot of questions. And honestly, you went to America, but you know, we have a whole team in the Middle East, and especially their leader, Ahmad Rabaya, asked me, can we not have some countries of 125 and 250?
Huh? Do you hear my phone too?
No, I don't hear your phone yet. I have the thinking. But they request if we cannot have the promotion for. And honestly, I can understand that because we have all super promotion for the mystery.
Yeah.
And the mysteries is a lot of United States and almost all 1,000.
It's always when you come with a big story around it, but it's only
But
preparation for a question.
A big story for the little countries, for the countries that have the low, because we have a lot of people that cannot afford the 1,000, but they can afford the 125. So,
so
maybe something that we must. That is all the question. That is all. I thought let's start with
so your direct question. I mean, I just came back.
I thought you're in such a good mood. Let's go.
You don't give me really time to adapt to this whole
no,
new situation.
you know, because I promised Ahmad.
You didn't do it last week, actually, but last week I came with a surprise a little bit.
Yeah, you did already the surprise. So this week, you know, I thought the new round with the new request possibilities.
Okay. You know, because Ahmad is asking. When Ahmad is asking, I have a weakness. I have a weakness definitely for him as well. So I will think about it.
You know, that's a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. You heard what he said. He said, mostly you know where that leads to. But, you know, let's see what dreams will come. Shall we first give the word then to Craig? So that we can talk.
The guy yesterday went out with his children, I know, to do the Spartan Run.
Yeah.
So that means, I think, running, swimming, whatever, going through the mud, coming out of the mud, and do all kinds of exercises and make sure you don't stop. You just make sure that you go across the finish line. And I saw him already a little bit earlier today, so I believe he's ready. I mean, he must be ready, full of energy and feel invincible.
Excellent.
Hey,
Craig,
there he is.
Are you there? Are you ready to do another run, a cannonball run?
Oh man, guys, I have to tell you that was an amazing experience with my kids, and I have amazing children. They're powerful people. They're getting a lot of good stuff done in their lives, and they always challenge their old man to go out and do things with them. And so this is the second time I've done a Spartan run with them, a Spartan race. The last one I did was they called it a sprint, and this one they called it a Super K. It was 10 kilometers through the mud. I was in rivers. I was in nasty backwoods. I got my legs all cut up. I was over rocks. I had to climb over 30 different obstacles. I had to have a lot of upper body strength. I had to have leg strength. I had to have endurance. It kicked my butt. I was bleeding. I was covered in mud by the time I was done. And I have to tell you, it was the greatest thing I've done in a long time. And doing it with my kids, I can't even begin to tell you how awesome that is for me and what it means to me. It's part of our family thing that we do. We've always done fun things like that. I've jumped out of airplanes with all of my kids. I've traveled around the world. We've camped, we've hiked, we do a lot of things, but this one was thrilling, partly because the last time I did it, I was fat, I was out of shape, it kicked my butt, and this time I rocked it because I'm in shape.
Good to hear.
And it was really fun. So I had a good time.
You prepared for this, Craig.
I did.
You didn't want
I wasn't going to be embarrassed
again.
And going through all the things you need to survive this run, I was thinking about becoming a Crown Diamond or an ambassador, because in principle you need to have the same commitment and you need to have body strength, mental strength. So I'm sure that you can convert this into a lesson for the field.
I can, and I have, and I will.
Good.
Thank you.
Let's get going.
All right, so here we go. So that, with that little background in the conversation, let me kind of tell you what has actually happened in my brain. That was yesterday, but a couple of days ago, I was actually thinking about, I think about a lot of the same words, but I'm always thinking about something as it applies to our business, as it applies to everybody on these calls, as it applies to my responsibility to offer some thought leadership and some experiences from my life. I'm very happy to put my life and my thinking on display because I think that there are a lot of uniform principled lessons that apply to everyone in some of that. So I tend to think like that. And so I was thinking about a couple of concepts. I was thinking about, I always think about energy because I'm always intrigued at how little energy some people have for who they are and what they are. And I always wonder, why is that? And then I'm always so impressed by people who have high energy for who they are, what they do. And I think to myself, well, why is that? And I think that we're all born with the same stuff. I think that every human being that comes to this earth actually has the same capacity, the same potential, the same promises. And yet some people just don't live it out. Some people don't stretch themselves, and they don't make their lives the lives that they're on this planet to live. You know, Jason uses the term predestined often, and I think it's a beautiful word because it tells you that the soul and the spirit that's in you has a responsibility to be lit up, to be on purpose, to be on fire. And then that always creates this conversation in my brain about the power of energy, the energy of power. And then I'm so happy with our logos and our branding, because we have in Forex Insiders, we've got the horns of the bull, which is, bulls are powerful beasts, like they're just massive and they make things happen. But then there's the power of our flames that are so beautiful, that are both life-giving. You can cook food, you can stay warm, you can burn on the inside. And so I love all of the meaning, all the inferences, all the suggestions that come from the beautiful story that is told in our Success Factory environment. So I was thinking about, what creates flame. What creates flame is, like, you have a couple of things. You have out in nature, you have wood, but it has to actually be dried. We were over last weekend. We went over to Jason's house after the call, and we had a chance to sit around his fire pit. But unfortunately, he had put wet wood into his fire pit, and it took forever to burn. So he was burning all kinds of dried product while we were sitting there, but the wood never actually caught flame. He was throwing in all kinds of catalysts, right? Dried pieces of bark and straw and grass and other things, and he was trying to light this wet wood, but it wasn't going to light because it was wet, and so it wasn't ready to burn. It just was unprepared to burn. It ended up burning later in the night because as all those embers and lingering heat ultimately dried out the wood, and it actually caught on fire. And Jason's wife, Carrie, woke him up at 2 a.m. and said, "What's going on out there?" And he looked out the window, and there was a full blaze happening because the wood readied itself. It dried out and became what it was supposed to be. It burned, and burned bright. But it was at the wrong time. But there's a lesson in all of that, right? But the catalyst was the small dried wood that was actually a part of the flame. So here's why I'm telling you this. Because in my brain, I've been thinking about personality types. And one of my favorite books is this book right here, How the World Sees You, by a woman named Sally Hogshead. And it's really about discovering your highest value through the science of fascination. So there's 2 words I'm going to share with you that I'm going to focus my conversation on today. The 2 words are catalyst and fascination. Catalyst and fascination. And they go together. And I'm going to tell you how I piece them together. A catalyst is the word catalyst. Okay? There's our beautiful, that's my effort at drawing the Success Factory logo. It's not that great, but you get it. And this is the word catalyst. Now, a catalyst is a substance, as defined in, you can Google search it or whatever. It's usually used in small amounts relative to the reactants that are in the mix. So in the case of a fire, in Jason's fire pit, you have reactants are the wood, there's the fire, and then these catalysts are the things that catch first, that then catch the bigger pieces in. the substance relative to the other pieces, it modifies and increases or accelerates the rate of reaction in the process. That's what a catalyst chemically or physically is. What a catalyst person is a person that causes change or brings about a result. So if you think about what we do, we have the ability to be catalysts in the lives of other people. Now, I'll tell you something. There are, she's got, I can't even remember how many, 49, she's got 49 different key personality types in that she describes, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. She's got 49 personality archetypes that people funnel into and structure. So this is like taking what you may or may not have learned from bank and then putting it literally through an explosive intellectual experience. This is far more detailed and far more focused. However, it's the same thing, because this book is actually about how the world sees you, not how you see the world. This is the thing about personality profiles, DISC, Myers-Briggs, etc. It's about how you see the world, which is also important. You need to know how you are and who you are and why you see things the way you do. So you need to analyze yourself to figure yourself out, because you have come to this planet with a genetic predestined encoding. Then you live inside of a nurturing environment that exposes you to, tamps down, or accelerates what you're genetically given. And then you come out of that as an adult and you find ways to actually break through that, or you stay imprisoned by the thoughts that were placed around you because you don't have the self-confidence or the intellectual capacity to break through it until you meet somebody that says, that's not okay. I'm going to help you break through your limiting thoughts. I'm going to put you in an environment that's going to force you out of yourself, that's going to tell you to stop stopping yourself and invite you to start starting yourself and find what you are inside. So rather than suppress who you are, you get to express who you are. That's the goal in life. The goal in life is to express who you are. So somebody, somewhere, sometime, somewhere along the line has come to you and they've been a beautiful catalyst. I've used the term hero before in the last week, maybe even. Same thing, a hero, a catalyst, somebody that comes in and exposes you to what's out there for you and then guides you through that process and accelerates you through that process like a chemical reaction. But they cause change. They bring about a new result. Now, the reason you do this business is to make money. But the byproduct of making money is being a catalyst of change in the lives of your customers and your business partners. That's the whole reason you're in this business, is to go make money. But in order to do it, you can't do it alone. And it isn't just from selling stuff. It's from selling stuff to a degree, but it's making a difference. And that's being a catalyst. And I did a little etymology, okay? The word is etymology, ETYMOLOGY, etymology. It's the study of the history of words, the original origins of words. And I'm fascinated by the origins of words, or even segments or elements of a word, like re, for example, RE in front of an English word, which is a prefix, and that has an origin to it. And I use that term all the time. It's my favorite of all prefixes, because you reinvent, you recalibrate, you re-energize, you restart, you renew, you refresh. It's like inviting the next phase of it. And I talk about the virtuous circles and the infinite loops of possibility. That's a continuous improvement in life, and that's a re-experience. That's a always inviting a restart, always inviting to come back, because we get lost. We all get lost. We all get stuck. We all get derailed. We all have something happen to us that stops us in our tracks and reminds us that we're human. And then we have to restart. We have to push ourselves into a place that causes regrowth. In the Western United States, there's a chronic experience of wildfires. Even in the great national parks like Yellowstone National Park, there are wildfires that will go through and burn down thousands of hectares, thousands of square miles of taking down trees and killing animals and all of that. And then instantaneously, there's a regrowth and things come back fresher and bigger and everything else. It's actually a necessary part of, we try to stop it. All of us human beings try to stop it because we look at it as damage, but it's actually part of a bigger process that actually has to happen. We always have to regrow. You literally shed your skin as a human. You, everyone, you literally shed the skin that's on you right now. You will shed it within 7 years and you'll have a whole new corpse, a whole new thing of skin in 7 years. And all that dust in your house, that's you, lady, that's you, brother. You're turning to dust everywhere you go. That's what it is. It's skin cells. You're literally shedding all the time. So we're in constant motion of movement. And that's like a catalytic experience. And so that's the word I'm saying about being a catalyst. When you know this, and then you intentionally practice it, and you intentionally desire to make a difference in the world, then you've decided to be a catalyst. And this book talks about the different personality types. And there are literally 7 different kinds of ways that we speak to people. I'm going to talk to you about that because that's the second word that I want to talk about is fascination. Fascination. Now, the etymology of the word fascination is very interesting. I looked it up today. And again, etymology is the earliest known use of words. It's tracing the origins and it's the history of that word. But fascination, by definition, is the capability of exciting, eliciting intense interest and attraction. That's how we use it today. We all say, oh, that's fascinating, or I'm fascinated by you. Or we meet somebody with high energy and we're locked on, eyes on, we're like, that's really interesting. Now, here's what I also know to be true. In this world of social media where we've got phones in our hand all the time and constant emails and distractions, I can't tell you how many conversations that I've been in that I'm talking and the people are looking down at their phone and I'm like, I don't know if I'm really connected to this person, but it's interesting, right? And people distract. We have like historically, attention spans have gotten smaller and smaller. And there's some data in the marketplace right now. It's conflicting a little bit but they say we have between 6 and 9 seconds. Hear what I said, 6 and 9 seconds to keep people, to keep their attention. That's less than a goldfish. A goldfish has a 10-second attention span. We as human beings, because of this distraction device and constant chronic emails, a new notification, oh my gosh, a new Facebook notification came in. So, sorry, my attention to you as a human, I have to look away to this electronic device because it has more of my attention than you do because I've already found you to be boring. And that's the real issue. We are all fascinating when we're born. Fascination is built into us naturally, genetically. Have you ever held a baby? They don't say anything or do anything. All they do is breathe in air and swallow food and, kick stuff out of their body into their diapers but they're fascinating. We don't want to look away. We are fascinated. And those babies have the genetic design to fascinate us. Think about that. Now, what happens in the course of time? We layer on boring. And where boring comes from is those experiences where we feel like we need to hide and be in anonymity and be quiet and go along with the status quo and not express ourselves, or we had a public humiliation. That's the one right there. We got cut, or we missed a basket in the last game, or we got cut, or we didn't get picked for the team, or we were standing in class and the teacher said that's not good enough, or. I've had many of those conversations where 45-year-old women didn't want to stand in front of the room because when they were in second grade, their teacher said your butterfly report wasn't good enough. So in that instance, I literally had that woman rewrite her butterfly report, send it to me, call me, read it to me over the phone, and then burn it so that that memory went out the door and she could recalibrate and rewrite that memory. Yeah, that's a thing. And those little haunting voices teach us to not raise up, to not stand out, because across borders, all over the world, standing out seems to bring the risk, danger of humility, and too much attention is, we're told, is a bad thing. Okay, that's fine. I don't actually agree with that. I actually think that in today's world, the only way you are remembered is if you stand out with something. You stand for something and do something different, create different change. Some of you are fascinated with me. That's awesome. I want you to be, because I have good information from my life that I think is beneficial. But if you're not fascinated with me, that's okay too. That's fine. I'm not fascinated with every person I meet either. But I am fascinated by people's lives, and I really want to understand who and what they are and why. So here's what's interesting. The fascination is that capability of intense interest, eliciting intense interest and attraction. So if we go through life and we actually hide ourselves, and then we get a little older, we want to make more money, then we have to actually elicit or go get or bring about more interest and more attraction. So you have to be competent. But here's what's super interesting. In a 100% window, 85% of what leads to financial success, listen to this number, 85% of what leads to financial success would fall under the world of human engineering, meaning your personality interaction, you understanding who they are, you understanding how they see you, and maximizing the communication skills around that. Only 15% is around your technical, tactical knowledge. So here's the thing. I've said it before. You can thrive in this industry. You can thrive in this company, and you don't even have to know everything about it. You just have to know where to go get it. But it's really about, people are drawn to you and how you stand out and the impact you can make for them. How are you creating the flames inside of them? How are you showing up as a catalyst for change in their lives? If you're fascinating and you're a catalyst, you're doing the work that this is designed to be. And where the word fascination comes from, and I think it's an interesting historical study, it's only been since about 200 years now that the word fascinating or fascination has been linked to the way we personally bring about attraction. Prior to that, going back into the 1600s and 1700s, it was an assimilation to bewitching, which in smaller minds in 200, 300 years ago, bewitching was a scary thing, right? It was like enchanting and charms and amulets and spells and all of that. But let's be honest, people put a spell on us. I'm enchanted by people. I meet them, I see them eye to eye. I'm enchanted, I'm charmed, I'm bewitched. Those words don't have the same scary meaning they did 400 years ago. They're actually, we've outgrown that stuff in most places. Some religions are still in that, but that's okay. But the Latin word that roots to fascination is fascinatus, which is to charm or spell. And so I want you to understand what we do is exactly that. We create a spell, we create a charm, we create a fascination with who and what we are, and that leads people to us, that brings them to our shores, that brings them into conversation with us. And so as I've been going through this incredible book, I was thinking about this, how important fascination and making a decision to be fascinating really is. And there's two questions I could ask you. If I were to ask you, do you think that you're a better than average driver. Historically, 90+% people would say yes, they believe they're a better than average driver. But how can that be? Because in the bell curve, right, down the middle is 50-50. So to have 100%, 50% have to think that they're not better than the average driver, and 50% have to believe that they are. But in the case of that question, 93% think that they're better than the average. But that's not possible because some of them actually are terrible and they don't own up to that. But then if I were to ask the same question, how many of you think that you're more fascinating than the average person? The number is really interesting because if the top of the bell curve is 50%, when you ask the question about fascination, 39% of people say that they are less fascinating than average. So that's not true. You're all fascinating. You've been fascinating since you were born. You have layered boring on you, not necessarily on purpose. Some of it is, but you create like an oyster. You create a shell to protect yourself from the sand. And more that shell gets harder and bigger. And so that's why you have to kind of go into your background. And I use sometimes the term reconditioning. You have to recondition all of that to be successful in this business. Just take a look at the people that are thriving in this business. They are fascinating and they are actually owning that and they're happy about it. So I want you to ask yourself that question. Do I think I'm more fascinating than the average person? And if you think no, you're wrong and you need to change that. And because you are, just tell me the story of your life. I'm fascinated. Tell me where you came from. I'm fascinated. I was watching a documentary the other day called Flee, F-L-E-E. And it was crazy because it was about a refugee from Afghanistan who had a horrible life experience through that process. But the one question that stuck out to me that actually affected my heart and soul, the interviewer asked, what does home mean to you? So consider this is a kid whose parents were killed, whose brother and sisters were taken to prison and awful things done to them. He was a little kid and he fled Afghanistan alone. And his answer was different than what my answer would be when I say, what is home? What does home mean to you? His answer was someplace you can stay that's not temporary. That hurts. That hurts me to even say it to you in this, because I know that there are so many people that's part of their self-identity. So if those people are around, we have to actually help them understand home is them and they're fascinating. And we have to give them the ability to express who they are and realize that that's really fascinating. And that's why guys like Kian can thrive, because he's got a similar refugee story that he's embraced and knows he's fascinating, tells the story, we're engaged. He's got the lion's hair and the great style, and he's just a beautiful soul, but he's fascinating. And everyone on this planet is fascinating if you take the time to actually invest in them. But there are 7 ways to communicate with people, and I want to share those with you because this is how you add value when you're talking to people, right? So I'm just going to show them to you, and then I'll read what I have highlighted here. These are the 7 ways that you can add value to people when you speak to them, because your personality is an advantage. You are an advantage. Your fascination is an advantage. And Success Factory as a vehicle and a solution for people is a major advantage. The View is an advantage. Forex Insiders is an advantage, big time, right? So if you can create money, create residual money, create a passive income, build a team, teach other people to do that, and then teach them to teach other people to do that, you will change your financial life and you will change the legacy of your family. And it goes on and on into eternity. And that's your responsibility. When you get this information and you get this knowledge and you rise up inside and you start to burn, it's your responsibility to take it and replicate it and give it away in full force, even if it's inconvenient for people to receive it, because it doesn't matter, because goodness and principles and things that lead to results are what you should give to people. So don't be afraid to inconvenience somebody for their own good when you know that it's for their own good. Just like you would for your children, you do it for other people who are standing in their own way and blocking their own successes by no fault of their own, by a societal fault or an experiential fault, but we break them through. That's what a catalyst does. That's what a hero does. That's what a teacher does. That's what an educator does. That's what an inspired human does. So do that, right? So the 7 ways that you add value is you speak from a place of power. Power is leading through authority. Or you speak from a place of passion, which is creating warm emotional connections. Or speaking from a place of mystique, which is your thinking before speaking. Or a place of prestige, where you achieve success with higher standards. Or a place of alert, where you have careful precision. Or a place of innovation, where it's new ideas and solutions and creativity. Or a place of trust, where you build loyalty over time. Right? And so all of those are predispositions that you will have the word I use in English is propensity, where you have this natural inclination, this natural style, which is a propensity to speak in a certain way. I speak from a place of passion, innovation, and trust. Those are my destinations, if you will, right? That's how I do what I do. And I love it because I focus on that. And for me, it's about being a catalyst. I'm intentionally, on purpose, by design, a passionate catalyst in life. That's why I do what I do. That's how I ended up here, because that's it. And one of the things that Sally recommends in her book is to come up with an anthem. So I'm going to invite everybody on this call this week to come up with a personal anthem, not a song, but a statement about who you are. Let me tell you what mine is. I've had it for 28 years, so this is easy for me. If you ask me who I am, one of the first things I'll tell you is a story about how I landed on who I am. And then I'll tell you that the first 3 words that I said is powered by possibility. That's my anthem. Now, I added 3 more words, driven by results, because I know that I can't just be a possibility guy, because possibilities are endless and have no borders and have no measurement. I can always be a place of possibility. Oh, that's possible, and never accomplish a darn thing. So, driven by results pulls those wild gyrations of thought into a fixed place where that possibility needs to be executed against and then create a result. Those two, they anchor themselves, right? I'm not all about just like result, because that's boring. But I'm not all about possibility, because that's endless and chaotic. So I pull the 2 together, and I'm powered by possibility, driven by results. That's who I am. That's my anthem. So her point is that an anthem is about 2, 3, maybe 6 words that describe who you are. Now, why is that important? Because people have this tendency, they would rather be fascinating on a job interview than on a first date. That's dumb. You should be fascinating to all people all the time, right? So a first date or a job interview sort of looks the same when we're out prospecting people, doesn't it? Shouldn't you be fascinating? Shouldn't you have clarity about who you are so people go, ooh, I want to be a part of that? Shouldn't you? You should, is the answer. So look, Success Factory is a tactical business. You got to know the view. You got to know Forex Insiders. You got to be a product of the product. You got to be able to talk about the compensation plan. You got to explain binary structures. You got to be able to explain how to build a team. Those are tactical and practical for sure. You got to be able to do that. But anybody can. What anybody can't do is open up themselves and become a light to the world. Not anybody can do that. So we have to have a balanced approach to what we teach and train. And so you can study the mechanics, but you have to be invited into the mind game. It's mindset, skill set, and tool set. This conversation week after week is a little bit of all of it. You get tools that get dropped on or extensions of the tools, but really it's about get this mindset right, get this spirit set right, get these skills and how we talk and create this. So my challenge to all of you, every one of you, and I'd like to see it land in the threads in WhatsApp and other places. Declare your anthem. Put your anthem out there. Mine, powered by possibility, driven by results. And listen, you don't have to recreate everything. You want to steal mine, take mine. I don't care. Like, be about it. If it resonates with you, do it. But here's the thing. Create your anthem. Decide who you are, what you're about, why you're about it, and declare it in the smallest amount of words possible. I had to take a lot of words to tell you why. But at the end of the day, it creates fascination. It's engaging. It makes me want to know you. It makes me look at you like I look at a baby and just not take my eyes off of you because I'm attracted to your soul because you're telling me what your soul is. And now I want to know more. And now I start to trust you, right? And then once that happens, I give you the ability to be a catalyst in my life, a catalyst for change that's not just for me, but it's for my children and my children's children and a legacy that never quits. I hope that you will take what I'm saying. I hope you will remember that it's really about how the world sees you, not how you see the world. It's not about you. We say, we always say, it's all about you. No, it's really not all about you. What's about you is how you work on you so that you give to everybody else. It's all about everybody else. And it's all about how you deliver change to everybody else. But what's all about you is how you build you, how you prepare you to be the best you can be so that we, the world, can own up to you. I've said it before, and it's IQ, it's your brain. It's EQ, it's your heart. The combination then invites a WeQ, how we all come together and create a change quotient on the planet that can't be stopped, and we're already doing it. The question is, what are you gonna be in Jason's fire pit? What are you gonna be? You're gonna be the wet wood, waiting to dry, burning eventually? Or are you gonna be the fire and the catalyst at the beginning that makes that happen? It's your choice. I know what I choose. I know who I choose to be around. I choose to be around catalysts who have energetic excess. There's so much energy in them. They're like a pure capacitor that is controlling the energy, waiting for opportunities to disperse that energy on the planet. You should be that. And Success Factory is already that. So the question is, when do you come and align and match up? And when you do, life is good. And so with that, I'm going to end and just tell you how much I really do appreciate the opportunity to do what I do. And my time to come here actually forces me week after week after week to learn and rethink. And I haven't pulled this book off my shelf in 10 years. And then I did. And you know what I ended up doing? I ended up sending her I'm connected to her on LinkedIn, and I sent her a message because I want to talk to her this week because I think there's some things that she can add into the Success Factory family of things. And so I'm waiting to hear back from her. But that's the stuff that happens. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of your life a little bit every week, because you're a part of my life every day. I never stop thinking about you. I never stop thinking about how to add value where I can. My whole purpose in life is to awaken the possibilities in the people and organization that I work with, and that's you. And I'm powered by possibility, but I'm driven by our results. And so I look forward to seeing your anthems on display proudly. Doesn't matter what it is. Don't feel stupid about it. That's the whole thing. Don't be boring. Don't layer on an excuse that allows you to not do it. You're not going to get humiliated by declaring who you are. I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated to see what happens. You're fascinating. we're fascinating to the world. Success Factory is fascinating. Be fascinated. And with that, I'll give it back to my brothers in Amsterdam.
Wow. You know, every time that you speak, I get a couple of powered by opportunities, but driven by results. Hey, I love that. That's another, you know, you say so many. Every time that I take some notes, I get 4, 5, 6, 7 things out of it. Then you go, wow, this is a great one. And then you come with another and another. But, you know, it is exactly what it is. It is wow. Thank you very much, Greg. And in the meantime, I'm battling with Roald what we going to do when we do some extras, when we give you guys another country or a couple of countries in a promotion, and what will be the reasons why we do it. Now, in the meantime, because I'm going to continue with these beautiful suggestions, I give it to Jason. Jason, are you there? Are you ready?
I am here.
Are you ready to rock and roll?
Always ready to rock and roll.
Wow. Then I give it over to you. Wow. Boom.
Very good. Go back and wrestle the alligator. Wrestle the alligator. All good. So, you know, I also have a personal anthem, like Craig said, powered by, he's been saying that for a long time. And I've had my own personal anthem, and it's ride the wave of life and play big. And I've had that for a long time. You actually see a wave behind me, because I believe that life has waves. Sometimes you're on top of the wave, and sometimes you get run over by the wave. But sometimes you can catch the energy of the wave, right? Sometimes your life is up, sometimes your life is down, but sometimes you can catch the energy of life or the energy of the wave and continue to ride it. And the thing that I love being on a beach. It's my favorite place to be on earth. And the thing that I know about waves is that they keep coming, right? And the same thing's true about opportunity. The same thing's true about you. Same thing's true about champions. They just keep coming. And that's what winning requires you to do, is to keep coming and then play big. Because if you're going to do something, why would you play small? If you had the opportunity to choose, why would you choose to play small, right? Why would you play a game as small as you could? Why would you play a game as little as you could? Why would you play it at anything other than big, right? So your thinking has to be big. Your ability to handle emotions has to be big. Your ability to deal with things. Craig talked about being a catalyst, or other words that I've always looked at was your capacity, right? Your capacity to deal with things. And are you a catalyst for other people? Can you be a catalyst for yourself, first of all? But second of all, could you be a catalyst for other people, right? And a catalyst in a good way. Are you a catalyst that inspires hope, that inspires change, that inspires someone to want to go chase after their dream and chase after their destiny? Or are you just playing so small that they can't even see themselves fitting into a vision of your reality, right? You have to be able to sell the brightness of the future so big and sell a dream so big that other people can see themselves fitting inside of your dream, of your reality. And that's the same thing that's true when you talk about Success Factory. When you share the opportunity of what Success Factory is, who we are, what we have been, who we are, and where we're going. Do they see that there's momentum being created? Do they see momentum being created in you? Do they see momentum in your life? Do they see momentum in your team? Do they see you doing the things that are necessary to win? Or do they see you playing small? Do they see you making excuses? Do they see you backpedaling in life and not going after it, giving up to fear, giving up to anxiety, giving up to excuses, giving up to all kinds of things that are going on? But you got to pay attention. If you want to win, if you want to ride the wave of life, if you want to play big, if you want to be driven by possibility, driven by results, powered by possibility, I mean, if you want to be powered by those things and driven by those things, and if you want to play a big game, then it requires some form of education. It requires some form of self-awareness. It requires you to pay attention to what's happening in the world, because if you can pay attention to what's happening in the world, you can set up a selling situation where it's almost impossible for someone to want to come join you. And the way that you do that is you always identify the problem and then offer a solution, right? You identify a problem and offer a solution. So like what I say oftentimes is that the problem is most people don't know how to make money. They don't know how to keep money. and they don't know how to multiply their money. The good thing is that Success Factory can show you a way not only to make money, but we can show you ways through our products to keep money, and we can show you a way through our delivery system, our network, our compensation plan to be able to multiply it and leverage it. So always framing things in problems versus solutions. And right now there's a big problem in the world. And one of the biggest problems in the world is a word called inflation. Inflation. So in the United States and in other countries, inflation, the real inflation is around 8% upwards to 15%. So it's going to be 8% all the way up to 15%. Now, what does that mean? For example, if you have inflation, let me write this down. If inflation, right, it means the price of goods and services. Inflation is 8%. Let's say inflation is 8%. What does that actually mean? Why is that a problem for most people? It's a problem for most people is because it's equal to, for the average person, 8% inflation is equal to 1 month of their income, right? So if you have inflation at 8% for a given month, that means that someone just lost 1 month of their income. They just lost 1 month of their income. That's a big problem. That's a big problem for the average person, right? That the average person just saw their income go backwards by 200, 300, 400, and in some cases $500 or 500 euros a month at no fault of their own. They're still doing the exact same thing. They're still living in the exact same place. It's just the world and the way that it's being run, the inflation is going up, which means that their ability to make money, right? Their ability to make money just went down. It just got harder for them. Their need to make money just went up, right? And I talked about this at our last event. Their ability to keep money because of inflation just went down, right? Their need to be able to keep more money just went up. And what greater thing to do than to come along and share the story of Success Factory, to share the story as for a little amount of money, you can get into business for yourself, right? For a little amount of money, why would you want to have a business? Well, if you understand the cash flow quadrant, right? If you understand ESBI from Robert Kiyosaki, why would you want to start owning a business, right? If inflation is going high and it's costing you more to live, what you need to understand is, how do I keep more of my money? Well, the hardest place to keep more of your money is over here, right? Is over on the E&S side. That's the hardest place to keep more of your money because you're taxed at the highest rates. You want to be able to be over here as a business owner or an investor. Why? Because it's more tax advantaged for you to be a business owner. So a simple thing in most countries, now I'm not a tax advisor and I'm not giving you tax advice, but I know for sure in the United States that if you opened up a business, you had your income come into that business, all of a sudden you can start deducting all kinds of things from your business, right? Things like your cell phone, things like your car payments, things like your computer, things like education, things like business services. All of a sudden, your ability to keep more of your money just went up. And now because you started a business with Success Factory, your ability to make more money just went up, right? So just when everything is pushing everybody's income down, that's the problem, right? The problem is your money just became worth less. The problem is that you're making less. The problem is that you're keeping less. The good news is we can show you a way by having a business that you can keep more money. We can show you a way by building a business that you can make more money. And we can show you a way with our products and services that you can have your money go make more money for you, right? It's called the multiplying effect of your money and the ability to do that. The only question is, are you doing it? The only question is, when you see this happening in the world, when you see the problems that are out in the world, what level of confidence do you have to go out there and create the solution? What level of confidence do you have in Success Factory? What level of confidence do you have in the products and services that we offer? What level of confidence do you have in the mission statement of our company, which is to innovate wealth creation for humanity? What level of confidence do you have in yourself that you know how to learn what you need to learn? What level of confidence do you have in your ability to lead? What level of confidence do you have in yourself and your ability to influence? And most important, what level of confidence do you have in yourself to be able to empower other leaders to do the same? You see, when things are happening like this in the world, you got to understand, direct sales businesses like Success Factory always thrive during times of hardship because of the reasons I've already stated, right? They thrive. It's a moment in time. The only question for you is, do you have a sense of urgency to do something about it? Do you understand the opportunity when the opportunity is there? Do you understand the challenges and the problems that are out there? Do you have the confidence in the solutions that we have? And do you recognize the sense of urgency that's out there in the world? I'm telling you, if you go out into the marketplace with a sense of urgency, with a firm resolve of confidence, and you understand exactly who you are and why you're called to do this, then all of a sudden, you need to ask yourself, what speed am I operating at? Right? What speed am I operating at? We often talk about a book from 2 years ago called The Future is Faster Than You Think. What does that mean? What does the future is faster than you think actually mean to you? What it means to me is that you have the ability to create your future, right? You have the ability to create your future, but if it's faster than you can think, that means that everything around you is moving faster than you realize because you're not paying attention to it. You're probably paying too much attention to this, like Craig said. You're paying too much attention to what other people are saying, other people are doing inside of their social media posts. You're not paying attention to the challenges of the world. You're not paying attention to the opportunity when it's sitting right in front of you. And it comes with, you have to be able to have speed, right? What's the level of the speed of you? What's the speed of your organization? How fast are you personally recruiting? How fast is your team recruiting? How fast are you personally getting customers? How fast is your organization getting customers? What's the speed that you're out there? What's the tempo of your business, right? So speed is one thing, tempo is another. What's the tempo? How often are you giving a recruiting presentation? How often are you following up? How often are you fast starting someone? How often are you getting them to get 2 recruits and 3 customers right away every single week? I mean, if that's the speed, could you imagine the speed of your business of every single week you are cranking along and got 2 recruits and 3 customers, 2 recruits and 3 customers, 2 recruits and 3 customers, and you ran at that tempo and you duplicated it and you had confidence and you were trying to play big and you were powered by possibility and you were driven by results and you did see that there was a big challenge in the world and that you have solutions to solve it? Or are you just going to sit back and play games and try to hope that something's going to magically occur for you, that something's going to magically fall from the sky, that somehow teams are just magically going to appear in your structure, that somehow magically compensation is just going to show up in your bank account? That's not how it works. That's not how the world operates at all. You got to recognize that you have to personally go do something. And whatever you do sets the speed. It sets the tempo for your entire organization. I remember talking about this book, I think probably the end of last year, probably in the summertime, I think is when I first started reading this book, Tim Grover, Winning, right? And in this book, Winning, I distinctly recall him saying that winning requires 100% commitment. Winning requires 100% commitment, not 80%, not 85%, not 90%, not 51%, not 55%, not 60%, 100% commitment, right? It requires 100% commitment to what you think, what you feel, what you do, what you say, who you talk to, why you talk to them. Are you framing the conversation? Are you creating the speed? Are you creating the tempo that winning requires you to set? Winning doesn't care if you win or if you lose. Winning is a tough taskmaster, right? There can only be one person that wins. There can only be one company that wins. And we want our company to be the winning company, which means we need every single person out there with speed, with tempo, with confidence. You've got to never stop thinking about, where does winning want you to be right now, right? Every single day, every single hour, you got to think about, where does winning want me to be right now? Does winning want me to be on my couch eating Cheetos and eating an ice cream cone? Or does winning want me to be on the telephone talking to someone? Does winning want me to be on a Zoom call sharing the opportunity, painting in the problems in the world, and offering solutions for anyone and everyone that's willing to go after it, right? This is where people can chase their dreams, right? This is where people have the opportunity, have the shot at having their destiny come flying towards them, but it comes with speed. It comes with tempo, it comes with confidence, right? And there's a difference between theory and practice. I want to share this one image with you. I found this absolutely fascinating. I saw this the other day online. It's this diagram that shows the difference between theory and practice, right? Everyone wants theory, right? This is the theory of how your income's going to look. This is the theory of how you think your business is going to grow. This is the theory of how you think your Forex portfolio is going to grow. This is the theory of how you think the View membership units will be valued. This is the theory on how you think revenues can come flying in through the View platform. But this is what it is in actual practice, right? It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, up, down, up, down. The ups and downs are small, the ups and downs are big. The question you have to ask yourself is, what's the trajectory, or what's the angle, right? Where's the trend line? Is the trend line going up, or is the trend line going down, right? And so there's a big difference between theory and practice. The question is, are you paying attention to it? Are you paying attention to the ups and downs? When you're up, do you understand why you're up? When you're down, do you understand why you're down? And how fast do you correct it to make sure that the trajectory is constantly moving in the right direction? Constantly moving in the right direction. I think it's time that you pay attention to things that are going on in the world, because it's hitting people hard. It's hitting the average person, the average family, in a very difficult way. Because you just saw inflation is at 8%. That means that it's equal to 1 month of income, which means in some places in the world, it could be as high as 16%, which means that people just lost 2 months of their income, right? Are you confident in the solutions that we have and in what we do? You got to ask yourself, are you willing to play big? Are you willing to ride the wave of life? Are you willing to do the things that you need to do in order to go and win for you and your family? I challenge you to pay attention. I challenge you to get it out there and have conversations. I challenge you to become aware of where you are with your speed and with your tempo. I challenge you on what you're learning. I challenge you on your level of leadership. I challenge you on your level of influence, your level of empowerment, because the company is going to continue to do what the company is going to continue to do. The only question is, what are you going to do? Are you going to be a part of it? Are you going to be a part of changing the trajectory of other people's lives? You know, for me, the question is simple. I'm dedicated to doing it. I'm committed to doing it. And winning requires 100% commitment. Ask yourself at any moment in time, where does winning want me to be right now? And what does winning want me to be doing right now? And the answer to that question ought to be in service to other people. It ought to be in showing them opportunities to make more money, to keep more money, and to be able to multiply their money more. Because I know that most people also, at least in my experience, they want to be their own boss. They want to be able to do a good work. They want to make sure that the work that they do is good. And then thirdly, they want to be able to have financial independence, whatever that means to them. It's always an honor and it's always a privilege to be able to work with you guys and always ride the wave of life and always play big. And with that, I'll turn it back over to the Netherlands and see how the alligator wrestling's gone down and see who won what scenario, and see what is going to happen for the ending of this call. But it's always an opportunity to be here with you guys.
It looks like they may still be wrestling, Jason.
Must be a deep swamp.
That was awesome, and I've always loved your anthem, and I think everybody does. It's an invitation, as well as an education, because it makes you think. And you described it really well with the waves always coming, and playing big is a mindset and an attitude. It's really it's a fascination decision to be big, because people play mediocre, small, not to lose. And it was all on what I was talking about in the beginning, which is like that thing that happens to us when we're little and we layer on boring. Playing big is not boring. Playing big is winning. It's what winning wants you to do. It's commitment. And that's what makes humans fascinating. That's why I think you're so fascinating to everybody in our company. It's why you've always been fascinating to me. So yeah, I think you layered right on that. Look, you were like the next wave after I rolled through. So
well, as soon as you started talking, I'm like, all right, here we go.
Oh man, no. Well, listen, you know, you and I think out of the same brain after 20 years of hanging out together. But you're over here in the brain. I'm somewhere over here in the brain, but it actually works out beautifully. So I love my friendship with you, brother.
Likewise.
Well, so I wonder what's happening in Amsterdam. We can't see.
Hello. Yes.
There they are.
Gentlemen, we are there. And you know, I have a special guest. He's now walking away. Daniel. We have Daniel over here. And I saw that we had Andrea in the house also. Daniel, come to me. So, hey, look who's here too. Woo! Do you have a microphone?
Nope.
No microphone. You stand close to me. So, you had something to share with the audience that you were so excited to.
Well, thank you, Igor. Well, hello, everybody. Great to see you on this call. Exciting times. A lot of things are happening. Corporate, in the field. I hear amazing stories last week from different directions from my team, but also outside my team. A lot of things are happening in the US market. I see smart people reacting on the situation that they make the decision to look at who they know in the US market, because a lot of things are happening there. Beautiful thing is that there are already people over there, so it's not necessary to travel to there, to paying the price for the trips and stayings, etc. Follow the people that are already there. Work smart. Jason, Greg, me, Roald is there. We can do a lot for everybody, for the community of Success Factory. And I'm so excited because a lot of things are happening now. When I started with Success Factory, it was a very exciting time. But I must be honest, the time that we are living now, with all the things that are happening, the big puzzle is coming together. So my advice is react on what's happening. Do more what you are doing now. It will pay back in results. And yeah, that's the reason that I'm so excited. That's the reason that I work very hard at the moment.
And I think it's very beautiful, Daniel. I saw that you were there. And the beauty of the idea is that when you have in different teams already people, that you have actually a residual, because it comes back automatically.
Yeah.
And that's a powerful thing, because that's not what we had so far.
Exactly. If you look at what we have, we have a very powerful compensation plan, and we are blessed with that kind of compensation plan, and what the company is doing over and over again. You see that every time on a global call on Sunday. We are blessed what the company is doing for us. We are blessed with an amazing project called The View. What's going to happen in the future. But if you also really understand that Jason is doing an amazing job to explain what is the power of doing small things every day. If you build a system with a product of Forex Insiders, what you can create as some passive income. If you put everything together, just imagine for 12 months from now what you can create for yourself and for your family. It's really amazing.
Wow, yes. And that's what I like. I saw people busy on that. And the moment that people realize that they have their income from The View, they have the income now as well from the Forex Insiders, but the Forex Insiders is a residual.
Yeah.
So that's a beautiful thing. You do it once, when people get excited, it comes back to you again and again.
Absolutely.
And you not even have to ship it.
Exactly.
It's not a pot of pills that gives you. Wow. Daniel, thank you very much for your assistance. Andrea, are you here?
I'm definitely
Because
here.
Andrea, you just came back from a retreat. I see that in your team is a lot of retreats happening. I see them in Colombia doing a retreat, in Spain.
Yes.
I need your help, Igor. So then.
You say something, you know, I
Yeah,
need
you
to
must
go
go
and
get ready because
get
I'm
ready
happy.
for the surprise.
I'm happy that you are preparing some surprises and promotions. You know, I'm always happy when I see Roald and Igor together because means that great people are coming together for great ideas. So I want to take a couple of minutes. I am super excited. I want to say hello to all our community. We all look forward for these calls, and we already said that we want to make, of course, a mix between field leadership that they are working every day, like you have seen Daniel, and we want also the corporate. Because I always believe that when you want to make great things, create great things, you need cooperation and synergy and energy. And I'm happy to be here today. And I'm happy that Daniel is here today because he's one of our top leaders in the company. And I'm happy that he already is riding the wave of change and already going to USA and prepare the market because he has such a large team that he wants to contribute and help all his team that has the contacts in USA. Anyway, today I want to talk about important things. I want to talk about that is not what you say, but is how you say it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking a little bit around, and we had great months and we are having still great results. But by listening to my beautiful leaders and teams, I see that sometimes we reach success to a certain level and then we want to become professors. I want to go through this point. Professors are not making money. I always speak and teach about inform, motivate, and inspire. And you inform with information about the company, about what we are doing. You motivate people with your story and why they should join in this opportunity. What means this for them? And you inspire with your vision and the vision of the company. And I see that a lot of times we are trying to get professors, but are professors making money? No. But you know what? People buy stories. People buy emotions, feeling, excitement, visions, and expectation. They have expectations about this opportunity for their future. So before this global call, I was having a call with a Colombian team with Jorge Roman that is now in Colombia, with part of the team. And I was asking them, I know you have listened a lot of skills. You learn the abilities in these days. They share with you about the product, the company, and everything. The question is, are you ready? What are you going to do after these 3 days altogether? Are you going to study all the information you have learned? Or are you going in action with what you just learned? And my question today to you will be, what are you going to do with all the information that Jason, Craig, Roald, and Igor are they going to share with you, and they just share with you? What are you going to do? Are you going to study the information and keep it there in a storage, or are you going in action? Are you going to use the energy, the motivation, and the inspiration you just got to create results? Because motivation is motive plus action, is your why that will put you in action. So why I'm saying this, because after the event, we just had an amazing virtual event. People are super excited. It's a dream come true. It's a dream come true because I don't care what everyone thinks, but I know what I want to build, and I know what I think, and I know my goal, and on my list, on my vision board, I have goals set for the next 3 years, for the next 5 years, and for the next 10, 15, 20 years. And I was sharing in Spain in the leadership retreat that is not even a leadership retreat. It was more like celebrate the diamonds, the new diamonds we had, and plan this month and the next 3 months and the next 1 year to understand that we are going for something great. So I asked them, I told them that I have goals for the next 15, 20 years, and I have goals for the next 7 years, but I know that I cannot reach them in the next 3-5 years, and I even don't need them, and I don't even want them in the next 3-5 years. My goals for the next 7 years will be in the 7 years because I know that I will have the age and I will have the power, and I have the vision for the 7 years. So why I'm saying that, because in my 15, 20 years, I already told Roald, Igor, Jason, Craig, Niels, and Chris that I'm excited to be part of this company because I want to build one of the biggest company in technology in the next 15, 20 years. If I reach it, I will be super duper happy. Wow, great. If I reach one level, maybe lower, I will still be happy. But I aim for that because that's my motivation. That's what I work for. For the next 7 years, I already declare it, and that I want to have my beautiful yacht. I don't need it before 7 years because I know that I don't have the time. I already told Roald that I committed, and to Niels and Chris, for the next 3 years and for the next 5, 7, and 20 years, but especially for the next 3 years, I know that we are building the view, and I'm excited, and I know how to set priorities, and I'm committed to that, and I know that I have no time to hang around with my yacht. But I don't need a yacht to be there myself. I was going in Marbella in the port with Kini Amores, and I was telling, I don't need that yacht. I need one like that I can invite at least 20, 25 people, maybe 30, and that I can be there with my friends and with my leaders, that I can hang around with in the Mediterranean Sea and have together a beautiful vacation, or invite them and plan together. Those are goals that I don't want before. I have goals for the next 3 years that I'm working my butts off. I want to build new teams, especially with a holding tank right now. I can sponsor new people in my team and that they can benefit. And these 3 years, even when I'm successful, I'm a great investor, a great businesswoman, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business person that uses network marketing to build huge success. I know that in the next 3 years, even people like me need to work day and night. And I already achieved a lot of things in my vision board, most of the dreams. But why I'm saying that? Because you must be in the same phase that I will be in the next 3 years. So you will see me around working hard, because these 3 years are really crucial for our business. Next year, we will launch our official version, our official application of the View, if I may say that. And in the next 5 years, I already said to Igor and Roald, and if you follow the calls of the View, I want to make my money, and I look forward that the View is, set and working and functional, that we have more than 700. If my vision board is now imprinted in my mind, next year, Chris said that in the first year we went 250 experiences, second year 500. We are aiming for the third year 750 experiences. So I'm really excited. And for the next 3 years, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. There is no time to rest. 5-6 nights a week. 5-6 nights a week. I reconnected with my children this week because I was already weeks hanging around, going around like a tornado working. But this week I had to reconnect with the people that committed with me. They were part of this process, and they are my why, and they give me the energy to go for the next weeks, months, years into action. My phase will be in the phase 1: recruit, invite, present, train the people, invite them to events, and invite them to convention. So what I'm telling you is, if the top leaders like Daniel, like me, are really committed, means they are seeing something you don't see. They are knowing something you don't know. They are feeling something that you don't feel. So follow visionary, follow your leadership, follow your upline, because they know the direction, and stay close with people that have the energy you want. Stay close to people and be coachable, and follow the people that have the results you want. And in the next 3, 5, 7, 10, 15, 20 years, you will see that your future is bright. I'm excited. I am right now in a phase where I'm making a new vision board, and I'm excited about it, because great things are made for us, because we are all made for greatness. And from Colombia, I will reconnect with you, because I shared with you four advices. Change your mindset, because what you think, you speak, and what you think and you speak will create your reality. I will repeat it, because this is one of the secrets of success I've learned in these years of success. what you think, you are going to start to speak. What you think and speak is going to create your reality. So change your mindset and pay attention what you put in your head. Second advice is take a decision. When you take a decision, pay attention that you give 100% because you don't play with your future. I love Jason because he always says play big and stay with people that are always close to people that play big. Third advice is be coachable. Be humble and learn from people that have the results you want. And the fourth advice I gave them was learn the abilities. Learn the abilities to build this business in a professional way. Not just to make $1,000 a month. That's not the focus. Not just to sign up people, because then you still have a job in this business. I don't want a job in network marketing. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be a professional. So let's play big, like Jason always says, and let's go and get it. Ride a wave of change. So I'm excited. I'm fired up. Next week I go to Dubai. I go to the expo, and I have a lot of appointments, of course, with new people, because I already said that I want to build new teams. Because great things are coming, and this is the second wave of our business. Second wave that is better, stronger than the one that we already had. You are now in a better moment than when we were 4 years ago in the office in Estonia. And I remember it like yesterday. It was just a vision. We reached amazing things together, but now it's the second wave. And this wave is even better and stronger than the one that we already had. So are you ready? Are you ready to go with us? So we are looking for visionaries, for people hungry for success that are ready to rock and roll and work with us, work hard, think big, and let's go for the next level. Mwah! See you. I leave you in the hands of Igor and Roald. Let's go.
Wow. Thank you, Andrea. Wow, yes, we are actually
A tornado.
A tornado. But she's right. We are building a universal, borderless empire that has never seen in history of mankind.
And she brought us back to office in Estonia 4 years ago. So if you agree, if you agree that what we did in 4 years is great, imagine what we do from 5 to 8. Because now we're standing in this office. What office are we standing 4 years from now?
Wow, I think we stand in a Hollywood studio or something.
Anything is possible, and I think the company already proved that.
Yeah.
Many leaders in the companies, the COC members prove that every day. So I hope that everybody is watching feels that this is also your opportunity.
Yes. So make sure you work hard and smart. In the meantime, we get a deal, isn't it?
I was hoping actually that Greg and Jason were a little bit shorter, because all the time that they were talking, he was trying to get me more and more and more. But anyway, we decided to get 6 countries to give them some nice promotion, right?
Yes, we decided to 6 and it turned out to be 8. Isn't it?
Is it 8?
Yeah, I think I did the calculation.
You see, he tricks me even when we're standing here live.
Yeah, but you said we do 1 of 500. Yeah, that means 7.
I said 2 of each, 2 for 125, 2 for 250, and 2 for 500.
I don't remember that completely.
There's a Dutch president saying the same thing over and over again.
I think you said it in Dutch and I was thinking in English.
Yes.
That happened.
So 6 sounds like 8. Yes, I agree.
It's almost the same. 8 is the new 6.
Okay then. So we have 8 regions ready.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you probably do know which categories they are.
We choose the countries that were the highest sold, because they
makes sense.
That's an honest. They deserve an extra promotion, I think. You know, we can pick the lowest one, but I think people out there, they want to be.
Ahmad is because I want to make you happy as well.
Yes, it's for you, Ahmad, and your team, and Hamoud and Mohammed Adel. They all asked for that, so
they did.
Let's go. We have the first one in the 500 category.
What is the first one?
That's the Seychelles.
Okay.
Seychelles, because the Seychelles has already 60%, so Seychelles is the first one.
Seychelles, number 1.
Seychelles, number 1. What do they get? What do they get?
They get double units.
They get double the units.
Till the end of the month.
Till the end of the month. So that means it's today the 20th, 11 days to go, because March is a 31 day.
Yeah.
And it's the spring today. Today, the spring started.
I thought it was 21.
Yeah, but this year, it's weird, but this year It started today. I looked
Okay.
it on the internet.
Hey, it's a
And I
weird
was
year. Let's do
surprised.
some weird things then.
So then we go
Next one.
to the category of 250. And that is actually the number one must be Turkey because that's 91%. So I expect it sold out fast.
Okay, 9% to go.
Barbados 67%.
Yes.
So, and of course, hey, again, there's Mexico.
So
Mexico.
Seychelles is from the 500.
Yes. And then
Barbados and Mexico and Turkey is from the 250.
yes. And then we go to the dream category.
125.
125. And we have
You
countries.
took the top countries as well?
Yeah, I took the four
actually, you
biggest
took
ones, the four most sold ones, and they are, and that's beautiful, from all places in the world. Because we have out of Europe, we have Serbia.
Yes.
Out of Africa, we have Madagascar.
Yes.
Out of the Middle East, we have Iran.
Iran.
And
last
out
but not
of the
least-
Caribbean and Latin America, we have the Dominican Republic.
I've been there. It's a
Hey.
nice region.
Hey, that's a good reason, isn't it? Hey,
Yes.
guys,
Good memories.
are you happy now?
So 8 new regions till the end of the month. Double units in the universal pool. If I did everything correctly, you will see it online right now when you log into the dashboard. If not, then I made a mistake. I will do it soon, but I'm pretty confident I did it right.
I think too, because the only guy in structuring that I know for years that I never could catch on a mistake on doing that is you, Roald.
So I either don't make them or I can hide them pretty well.
Can be both, but you know what?
Can be both.
but I trust on that it's like your quality of doing things right.
So I think this makes it again a powerful call. I think we had all ingredients, great trainings again from Greg and Jason, great
Noes.
testimonial from
Yes.
Daniel, a great addition of Andrea as well. And then at the end, a nice surprise by giving 8 new regions, double units in the universal pool until the end of the month. Now, many of you also have received a newsletter last week with all the things that are up and running. Regarding the VAT and the transaction fees that will be added on April 1st, which means you have sort of a discount till the end of the month.
And a big one.
It's a big one.
Especially for the people in Europe, it's a big one.
It's a big one.
Wow.
And then we have still the United States regions running with their
the
triple the
mystery,
units in the
yes.
universal pool.
And we have those 5 mysteries still out there. Hey,
Yes.
I hope that one is sold out, then at least we can take one out.
And tomorrow is the first day that you will get in all cases 100% in your cash account. Doesn't matter anymore if you had certain amount of volumes in your legs with their coin volume. We took it all out. We don't do the 65 split anymore. It was announced last week, but we told everybody that is tomorrow, the day after, which was last Monday.
Yeah.
We still have one more payout that goes 65-35, but tomorrow everything will be 100% into cash account moving forward. And we still have 65% commissionable of the view till the end of the month.
Wow.
Great
That
work.
means for the same work, you get paid more.
You get paid more.
Wow. Oh, well.
Who doesn't like that?
What do we have to say more?
I think we should get everybody that's still in the studio here on the stage.
I think that too. Yes, let's get them
Let's
forward.
get Greg and Jason on the screens. We can
Greg
do
and
it.
Jason,
we can
are
do
you
it
guys
synchronized.
there?
Yes.
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 Whoa.
Oh, what a nice picture is this?
Are we ready?
Yes.
Wow.
Guys, there we go.
are born ready.
Strength and honor. It's all about you.
Mwah.
Yes, yes, yes.